all these, like, all this stuff that people say on the internet, like these cars don't last, anything like that, that's false. Let's kill that right now. YouTube, what is going on? Welcome back to the video, man. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, do me a huge favor. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, do all that for your boy. And all my returning viewers, want to appreciate you guys tapping in with me and support me on this YouTube journey. So, not gonna hold you too long. Let's go and get in the topic of today's video. See the title and you see the thumbnail. Now, first off, let me apologize for the wind, man. The wind has been going crazy the last couple of weeks. Every time I go out to record a video, the wind just goes like hurricane level. So, my apologies about that. But like I say, you see the title, you see the thumbnail. So, if you've seen this video and you've been following my channel, then you know that I am going to be taking delivery of a new car for the channel. Well, not for the channel, man. Honestly, I'm going to tell you right now, the car I'm getting is something I want anyway. With or without YouTube, it don't matter. I'm going to enjoy the car. But I want to do a final review on my Dodge Challenger RT, my 2015 Dodge Challenger RT. I want to give you like all the ins and outs of the car. I did a review before, but I want to do a final review like from day one of getting this car. I got this car brand new in 2015. So every pull, burnout, everything, all the maintenance, everything with this car has been done by me. And I want to give you guys like a first-hand review. There's a lot of like misconceptions about these cars and the issues that you may be having and things like that. But I want to give you some real like info on owning one of these cars. Now, I daily driven things in 2015. I'm gonna talk about the miles. I'm gonna talk about issues I've had with the car. We'll talk about everything, man. So now, before I get into the video, guys, I want to show you guys. Now, the car may be a little dirty. My apologies here, but I want to show you right now before I start giving you any information. I'm gonna show you the miles on my car. Let you know I'm not lying about anything on this video. So we're gonna get in the car. I'm gonna show you my miles. See it right there. 156,797 miles as of recording this video. I'm gonna stay in here a little bit because the wind is going crazy. So 156,000 miles. I know a lot of you guys are cringing. A lot of you guys are kind of like, man, that is a lot of miles on the car. First off, I bought this car brand new. I daily driven the car, and I've had no issues, no major issues. I mean, there's small things, wear and tear, which you know, which I'll get into that, but no issues, guys. So all these, like, all this stuff that people say on the internet, like these cars don't last, anything like that, that's false. Let's kill that right now. If you take care of these cars, you do what you're supposed to do, you do your maintenance, like I said, the car will take care of you. Right now, even with the amount of miles on this car, I will have full confidence hopping in this car and driving across the country and not worry about if I'm gonna make it or not. This car is that trustworthy. Like, straight up, like, I'm telling you, it is trustworthy. And you guys see how I drive my car. I drive it hard. I don't baby it. And it's held up. I mean, there are probably some edge cases where people may have had more issues with the car, but majority of the people with these cars will last you. So don't like get scared about driving your car and things like that. Now, I understand like some of you guys want to keep the miles low because you want to trade it in, which I mean, I'm different, man. I want to drive my car. Like, I bought the car to enjoy it. I don't want it just to sit in the garage all week and just like, well, I can't wait till I trade it in to get another car. Like, at that point, I'm like, why you bought the car? That's just me. That's just me. To each his own. But me personally, I want to drive my car. Like, if I'm going to like the store or something, man, I'm gonna hop in the car, drive to the store. I'm gonna have a fun drive to the store. That's just me. I mean, to each his own. All right, so I'm gonna stay in the car because the wind is still going crazy. So gas mileage, that's gonna be a big topic. Like, how's this car on gas? Now, out of all the Hemis that Dodge produces, of course, with this one being the lowest horsepower, this one actually is pretty decent for a V8 when it comes to fuel efficiency. On a normal drive, like if I'm on like the highway and things like that, I usually get about 21-22 miles a gallon average. The highest I've gotten in this car, I drove from here to Georgetown, South Carolina, which is maybe about 3 hours or so, or whatever. I might be wrong, but it's about 3 hours. On that road trip coming back, I was on back roads and stuff like that. I ended up getting about like 28 miles a gallon. Now, keep in mind here, I know a lot of you guys said, well, you probably have the MDS. If you have a manual, the manuals do not have MDS. It does not have that system in it whatsoever. So for my car to get 28 miles a gallon average on a road trip in a V8 with almost 400 horsepower, that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. I mean, it's not gonna be a Honda. I mean, it's not gonna be a Nissan. It's not gonna be like a 4-cylinder. It's not gonna be a 6-cylinder. I mean, that's pretty decent, guys. I mean, I know gas prices is kind of crazy right now, but just for fuel mileage, I think it's pretty good. I mean, of course, if you're around town, that's gonna dip. And of course, if you're like me, I'm a habitual gas stomper. I like to hear the car. I'm gonna let that thing eat. I'm gonna hurt the gas mileage a little bit, but just normal driving, nothing crazy. You're gonna get pretty decent gas mileage with this car. All right, so the next thing, let's talk about oil changes, which we're getting into the maintenance a little bit. So out of all the V8 cars, like, this is gonna be the cheapest to maintain. I know the scat packs are gonna be more, the Hellcats are gonna be more, things like that. Your oil change is gonna be paying about $50 an oil change just for normal, just go in there, oil change, whatever, right? By around $50 or so. Now, how often did I do my oil change for my car to last as long as it did? I did my oil change, and this is no lie. When the car told me the oil life was low, that's when I did my oil change. I never changed it earlier. I never changed it later. I did my oil changes then. I know some people say that's too long. I know some people say I'm gonna do it every 2,000 miles regardless. Whatever. I know people do different things. Every 5,000 miles, whatever. I never kept track of the miles on that. I dead up. When they said oil life is low, I changed it. I let the computer tell me what to do. I know some of y'all might be cringing, like, well, that's the computer's wrong, blase, blase, blase. Bro, I got 150, almost 160,000 miles on this car with no major mechanical issues with this car. And my car's fine. If you don't believe me, I'm gonna show you a couple. I'm gonna start the car up. I'm gonna let you hear the engine. I'm gonna let you hear it crank up, and you tell me. Now, here's the engine. Of course, it's gonna be dirty. It's a V8, so you know I'm not lying. It's dirty, so don't blame me on that. I usually have it clean, but I mean, honestly, I'm about to get rid of the car, so, you know, whatever. So, I'm going to crank the car up. I'm going to let it run. I'm going to let you hear the engine. So, you know, I'm not lying. 150,000 miles on this engine, and it sounds good still. Okay, I'm back in the car. Like I said, it's windy outside. Like you hear there, the engine sounds healthy. I mean, you got the Hemi tick, which is normal. It's not loud. I mean, that's what these engines do. They tick. But like I said, no major issues. You heard me rev it a little bit. I didn't get too loud on it because I'm at a mall right now, so I didn't want to go crazy with it. But that tells you right there, engine's fine. Since we are on the topic of maintenance, I'm gonna give you a list of everything that I had to do to this car since I've owned it. I'm gonna go through everything here. First thing, well, this is in no particular order. These are just things that happened along the way of me owning this car. So, one thing I had to do, I had to change the rear diff fluid. I started getting a little bit of noise from the rear differential. Went in the Dodge, they changed it out, no noise. And y'all see, I do burnouts and stuff, guys, every now and again. So, I never baby this car. No issues there. That's regular maintenance. Warped brake rotors. Had to buy new front brake rotors. I warped those, which is, again, normal. I hear a lot of people doing that. That's normal. I broke the skid plate on the bottom, little plastic service panel. My car's lowered, so that's probably how I broke it. Oh well. I had to replace the battery. I did that back in, I think, like 2020. Keep in mind, I bought this thing in 2015. Battery lasted about 5 years. And the only reason I changed it mainly is because of the fact that my car was like sitting for a very long time. It was just sitting in the garage, like I was working from home. I didn't drive my car as much, so that probably helped kill the battery a little bit quicker than normal. That's fine. I had to replace a trunk shock because it went out. That's like 20 bucks. That's nothing. That's regular maintenance. I had to replace a headlight bulb. I mean, bulbs die. Normal. I had to replace windshield wipers. Normal. That's normal. I had to replace the hood strip. I'm gonna show you the hood strip. The hood strip is like, actually I may not show it because it's windy outside. So pretty much it's like this rubber thing that's right behind the hood of the car. It came apart, had to replace it, which is normal on these cars. It's rubber, it happens. Replace that as well. And to be honest, that's it. That's it. That's all I've done to this car as far as maintenance wise, guys. Like 150,000, almost 160,000 miles on this car. And that's all I had to do to this car to keep it running. I put gas in it, of course. I mean, that's normal. Oil changes, that's normal. Change tires, that's normal. I mean, the tires are going to be depending on what you buy, so I really can't get into too much of that. That's really all I've done to this car, guys. Like, really, that's all the maintenance I've done to this car. Nothing else major has happened in this car at all. AC works just fine. I can hop in this car in the middle of the summer and I'm going to be freezing cold. I can hop in this car in the winter. I'm going to be burning hot. Like, everything works on this car. Everything works on this car. I'm going to keep saying 160,000 miles. I'm going to round up. And I'm good. Like, I trust this car. Like, I drive this car daily, and it's never a thought that I'm gonna get stranded on the side of the road because something happened to it. Never. Like, tire rotations, all the normal maintenance that needs to be done has been done to this car, guys. And it's still kicking. So let's talk about a couple other things. Like, we talked about the maintenance. So let's talk about just like the power and just daily driving this car. As far as the power is pretty decent. I have the, like I said, I have the 6-speed. It has the 390 gears in it. I'm telling you, the 390 gears pull pretty hard in the lower gear, in the lower RPM range and stuff like that. When you get on it, it pulls. You can light up the tires easy, very easy in this car. You gotta be careful, of course, with driving a car like this. I mean, granted, it's not a Trackshaker, not a Hellcat, but you still gotta respect the power of this. This car can't get away from you if you're not, paying attention to what you're doing. So the power is decent, of course. When you have the car, as long as I've gotten used to the power. Of course, I want more power now. I mean, that's going to be a story for pretty much anybody. You have a car with a certain amount of horsepower, you're going to get used to the power. I'm used to the power. It doesn't scare me. I respect it still, but it doesn't really scare me or anything like that. But that's what happens when you buy a car like that, right? And also just driving the car, some things I do want to point out with the car. I have a Challenger, of course, 2 doors, and I get asked about the blind spots. How bad are they if you've never driven one of these cars before? I will say, if you do get one of these cars for the first time, I do suggest maybe getting the car with the blind spot monitoring, because of the fact that the blind spots are pretty bad. I find myself in a lot of situations where I really can't see, and I'm gonna show you. So here I am driving, and if I look over this side, I really can't see, because right here, as you see, I have this big C-pillar here. It blocks all of that. And then this small window is blocked by the seat. So typically what I do if I'm driving this car, I take the seat, I usually take the seat, I lean it back a little bit. So that way, if I'm looking out the window and I need to merge over that way, I can see a little bit better. I try to angle my mirrors the best I can, but of course it's hard to get anything. I know some people usually put like little small mirrors on there, so that way you can kind of see more. But as far as just like changing lanes, this direction can get really hairy. It is extremely hard to see over here. Now, if you have a passenger over here, like sitting here, they're going to be in the way, and it's going to block a lot of your vision. But like I said, like if you do get this car, I do suggest looking to get blind spot monitoring, just because of the fact that it gets really hard to see sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I just guessed on changing lanes because I really can't see, and sometimes I've been hesitant to change lanes because I'm not 100% sure if I'm clear to change lanes or not. And those things I'll be worried about. And when I drive, I'm really aware of what I'm doing in the cars around me, but sometimes you really cannot see over there. Like this is like, imagine trying to change lanes. You have a car right here in that C-pillar area. You cannot see. You cannot see at all. Now let's go in the trunk. I want to show y'all the trunk area here. Hope the wind's died down a little bit. Let's show y'all the trunk area now. For a 2-door car, this thing is pretty doggone spacious, man. It's pretty spacious. I'm gonna show you the trunk area. So this is my stuff. Shout out to Jack's Wax. Shout out to Jack, one of my sponsors. I got a discount code in the description below, so make sure y'all get y'all some cleaning products. So I'm taking road trips in this car, and you can fit luggage in here galore. The trunk space is really, really big compared to any other 2-door car out there. Like this is, I had a 4-door car before this, and the trunk space was just as big. Like this is a big trunk for a 2-door car. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. You can see the wind is going crazy. The wind is going crazy because like that's what I got in the car. So I'm gonna wrap up this video, and that's pretty much the main overview of this car. I'm gonna miss this car. I know a lot of people are just like wondering if I'm gonna miss it. Yeah, I'm gonna miss it. This is the first Dodge I ever bought. I started my channel with this car. You're not gonna forget the first, right? This is the first thing. This is the most powerful car I had. And you're like, oh, 375, that's not a lot. it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick. It gets the job done. Not as quick as other cars, but it's still a blast to drive, and I'm not going to forget that. So I want to drop this video for you guys, so that way like you get some like first-hand information from a guy that owned this car from day one. Like nobody else has owned this car but me, so I know everything about this car. You know, I want to give you the real deal information. So I don't want anyone to be thinking like Dodge is a trash brand and the cars don't last. I'm here to tell you that that is 100% false. Y'all seen in the short time, like since I started my channel back, I think 2019, how I've driven this car, and I've had my car since 2015. So I had this car a full like 4 years before I even started the channel. 4 years before I started the channel, and you only seen a snippet of how I drive the car. I mean, that right there tells you everything you need to know. So let me know if it's something you want to know that I have not covered in this video. Drop it in the comments below. I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in, and it may be the next video or the video after, but we're a few videos away from unveiling the car. We're getting close. I've been saying we're getting close, but we're getting closer. We're getting there. A couple videos away, and then we'll be unveiling the car. Thank you guys for the support, man. We're gonna catch you on the next video. We're out. Cut it.